Hello there guys, and welcome back to the channel. Right, so yesterday, last night at about 11 p.m. my time, I believe, Kabam actually dropped kind of like an update video for the stuff that's coming next month, and we did get clarification on several things that I will also make some videos about, but I do recommend checking out this video in full, so I will leave a link in the description. We got a reveal of April's champions, which I'm gonna make a quick video in a moment about, and a bit maybe deeper dive in Omega Sentinel thus far, some other things. However, there is another important detail that I do want to talk about that might have went unnoticed to the people who kind of casually viewed it, but it is a kind of positive sign. And I know all of us like to give Kabam a hard time always for everything, and let's face it, most of the time they really do deserve it. Company is by no means close to being flawless or even adequate, more often than not. However, I also think it's very important to point out the good things when they are happening, and I am trying my best to genuinely look for these good things as well, without ignoring the bad ones, without ignoring the problems, without shying away from controversial topics in regards to this game. It is important that we talk about the positives as well. And one of them is, as we can see here, it's kind of darkened out because it's locked at the moment. So the fact that it is locked here and there is 70 energy available means that there is possibly some sort of limit or qualifying criteria for Battlegrounds. And that, it's quite important. Also, we can see that there are going to be battle objectives and challenges, which is a new aspect to it that we hadn't seen. So we're going to have some sort of specific things that we need to accomplish in order to probably get some rewards. But most importantly, this blackened out thing shows 6 energy opposed to 30 what we saw in the previous kind of like showcase of Battlegrounds. And, well, that immediately addresses several points. Number one, it re-emphasizes the fact that it's still beta. There's still a lot of changes to be happening with the game mode. And the things that we are seeing right now are by no means the finished product. And that's very important to understand. So we can, rather than immediately jump on Kabam's case and saying, how dare you do this, stuff like that. They haven't done anything yet, technically. Technically, the game mode's not live. And it's important that we give as much of our feedback and make sure that they do hear our voices as much as possible when it comes to actual changes to the game mode. But the second thing is the reduction in cost itself also was one of the bigger kind of like problem points, where the cost used to be 5 times higher, where you had to use 30 energy, and everybody was obviously rightfully so incredibly worried about the fact that you're going to have to balance your energy, which is basically an in-game currency that you use everywhere in the game for questing and stuff like that, with the Battlegrounds. Now, again, this might not be the ideal solution, and again, this also might not be the final kind of draft of Battlegrounds or how the energy system there works. They might just go ahead and make completely separate energy for it. I don't think they will, because they seem to be working with the principle of questing energy in Battlegrounds. But again, none of this is finalized. But at the same time, it shows that the cost has gone down significantly, and it is, 5 times lower, and that's a very huge decrease. That means that with a single energy refill, you can do like 11 matches now instead of 2. And that also means that whoever is going to be willing and wanting to play it for longer periods of time will find themselves much easier to do so without spending tons in energy refills. And I did want to point that out, as we can see that in the current versions that they are playing with, there is a 6 energy cost per match. Keep in mind that this is still subject to change. This is still not the official thing that we're getting. But I do like the fact that they're tweaking it, they're regulating it, and they're listening, because this was one of the kind of like 3-4 biggest complaints. Obviously, there's still the question of boosts. There's still the question of recharge times or the reroll option for units and, other things. However, the fact that this right here is already changed, I find quite significant, and I definitely found it to be worth pointing out. Because, yeah, it has a good effect, dual good effect, showing that they listen about the pain points that everybody was pointing out at, and just to re-emphasize that everything's changing. And also some optimism to some people who thought it's going to be, you know, super restrictive to get in there. And then lastly, it's nice to see that there are going to be some challenges and objectives. And obviously this is going to be the button that leads you to the store. So I'm glad to see they're working on it. Let me know what you guys think about pretty much all of this. But yeah, I'm, needless to say, still very excited about Battlegrounds. I want to follow as closely as possible to any news and updates around it. And even though we are not all going to be able to play it in March, it's going to be April when we get the big beta test, so to speak. There should still be quite a lot of information in regards of these things happening. Perhaps we're going to be able to see something in Battlegrounds store, how it's going to function by the looks of it. It will contain shards and it will contain selectors. But what else is in there? What currency they use? Things like that. I'm interested in every last bit of it. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you guys think about the changes of the energy cost and everything else that we can see here. And I'm going to catch you guys soon. See ya.
Hello there guys and welcome back to the channel. So we have all the information about